welcome to another episode of Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. I'm a writer for FootballAnalysisOne.com. I cover the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm also a writer for CFLNewsHub.com. I cover the Hamilton Tiger-Cats of the CFL. Also on Football Scientific, we talk about the IFL, the NAL, the ELF, and the UFL, along with the NFL and the CFL. Today, me and my co-host, Tyler Tiger! Let's go Bengals! Let's go Tigers! Tyler's back, y'all! Tyler's back for a second round! Okay, Tyler, good to have you back. Thanks. I'm happy to be back. I'm just doing my thing. Whoopie-dee. He's on a vacation, going to the Himalayas and stuff, okay? We'll see how that goes for him. I'm fired up to talk about stuff. Well, I don't know how much talking, though. It's a pretty short show. Let me talk! Let me talk! Okay, alright, never mind. Okay. Alright, so first, Atlanta Falcons. Quarterback Kirk Cpisins is not reporting to voluntary OTAs. He reported to the workouts, but not to the OTAs. Why? They're still trying to trade him. They're looking for a trade partner. They need someone to take his money on. That's the deal. Buffalo Bills, very, very much predictably here. They signed Joey Bosa from the LA Chargers, but Joey Bosa has recently had an issue with injuries. They paid him a lot of money, but now he's out until training camp with a calf injury. Dun, dun, dun. Also with Buffalo Bills, running back James Cook is not coming to OTAs. He wants a new contract, even though he still has a year left on his contract. Come on. Come on, James Cook. Denver Broncos, they add wide receiver Demaryius Thomas to the Ring of Fame. Okay, Ring of Honor, Ring of Fame. They call it Ring of Fame. I don't know why. San Francisco 49ers signed veteran punter Thomas Morstead. Okay. He got released last week. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defensive end Hassan Reddick is refusing to report to OTAs. Hassan Reddick refused to report the entire New York Jets. What'd you expect? You're going to pay this guy money and he's not going to show up to things? He didn't show up to the Jets at all. That's why he got traded to the Buccaneers. Detroit Lions. They are not. They were interested in Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals, but now they are not. It's too expensive. He wants too much, and he's not worth that. Sorry, Trey. This isn't gonna work, bro. Okay, next, Green Bay Packers. They have offered quarterback Jair Alexander an updated contract, a restructured contract. He said he's open to come back with the team, but he didn't agree to the restructured contract. Pittsburgh Steelers former quarterback Terry Bradshaw says, "Aaron Rodgers, stay out, man. We don't need you." Aaron Rodgers keeps, stretching this thing out. They got OTAs now. He's not there. People, Joy Taylor, the creepy lady, she said, well, he's not even at OTA. He's not signed by anyone yet. He's not going to show up to OTAs. Terry Bradshaw says, man, let's go back to California. We don't need you. Cleveland Browns, DeShaun Watson, crazily enough, he probably will not play another down for the Cleveland Browns, but he's getting paid more than Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. He's getting paid $22 million more than Mahomes and has won 0 Super Bowls. He's won very few playoff games also. The Browns are just making... That's what the Bengals need to not do. That's why we're not paying Trey Hendrickson, man. You don't want to be caught up in this boondoggle situation. Okay, why isn't Kirk Cpisins coming to camp? Because Pittsburgh Steelers are still very interested in Kirk Cpisins, but here's the deal. Falcons want the Steelers or whoever else wants him to pay at least a large portion of his $20 million contract. They don't want to pay him anymore. Otherwise, they're going to keep him as a backup, the most expensive backup in the league, other than DeShaun Watson. Okay, New York Jets, Buccaneers, former wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson. He is suing his agent for finder's fee. Meaning, he got fired from ESPN last year for being kind of reckless. I used to listen to his show. It's kind of boring. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't know. But he needs money, man. So he's trying to sue for some money to get back in his pocket. UFL, Houston Roughnecks, eliminated from the playoffs. This is their last week playing. They signed edge rusher Lonnie Phelps, who'd been released by the Brahmas a few weeks ago. They're just picking him up. San Antonio Brahmas released quarterback Chris Steele. Thankfully, he's allowed more than 80% completions when the ball's thrown his way. Has he ever really been playing for the Brahmas? No, they released him. In the IFL, Jacksonville Sharks are making moves. They released running back Tyler King They moved defensive lineman Sean White to the IR for the season he's done. They signed wide receiver Khalil McLean, and they released defensive back Corey Kelly. Okay. Iowa Barnstormers appear to be bailing ship. They're trying to drop a bunch of salary spots, so they released 5 players. Defensive back Larry Walker Jr., Gabe Smith, Shaq Carrington, who was been one of the better receivers, running back Alfonso Garber, and defensive back Darius Hunter, and they signed defensive back Gabriel Amateta. Okay, so I mean they needed a defensive back. They didn't need the rest. They're like, man, we're cutting it down. We're gonna get through this season and then figure it out. Okay, in the CFL, some business going on here. Toronto Argonauts released global punter Jeremy Edwards. They had signed him a few days ago. They add to the league suspended list and they add from the league suspension list. He must have came back to camp. National long snapper and Adam Guillemette. And they signed American quarterback Jarrett Doge. So we'll see how that goes, Doja. Toronto's looking for some answers after they got beat down by the Hamilton Tigers. It's going to happen again this weekend, too. Calgary Stampeders released American wide receiver Ishmael Hyman. See it, Ishmael. Call me Ishmael Hyman. Okay. Hamilton Tiger Cats, they made some moves. They released American running back Kalen Griffin. They signed him last week. He didn't get any playing time in the preseason game. He's gone. Boom. See ya. They did re-sign national offensive line John Cordes. They had signed him, or they drafted him in 2024 in the 7th round. He came to training camp last year. He got released. He has a lot of experience. He's 6'4", 307 pounds. He's from Toronto, Ontario. He played at Liberty University from 2018 to 2022 in 34 games. And then he transferred to U Sports Football, Saskatchewan University of Saskatchewan Huskies, where he played in 20 games and had a pretty good career. So, I mean, the Tiger Cats offensive line played really well last week. I think they're trying to load up. And the national offensive line is really valuable because it helps with the ratio. We got to have so many Canadians on the field at the time. So that will help with that. Omaha Beef in the NAL, they released wide receiver Kentwan Brown after they signed Kentwan Brown the same day. So there must have been some kind of miscommunication, or Kentwan Brown was just unpleasant to be around. They signed defensive back Chris Perry. Okay. They're trying to load up so they can make a run in the playoffs to another championship. I think they'll play the Columbus Lions in the championship game, and I think they'll win. Vienna Vikings in the ELF, they signed XFL linebacker Aaron Dunker, who's a German linebacker. So he does not, I think he does not count as an import. In 2024, he had 8.5 sacks, 13 tackles, 14 tackles lost for Ryan Fire. So actually, he competed against the Vienna Vikings in the championship game where he got 2 sacks against Vienna. They're adding him. They're like, we need you, man. And the Hamburg Sea Devils quarterback Talia Tagovailoa is going to get his first chance to start and get some playing time. Quarterback Micah Leon was injured last week for Hamburg Sea Devils. He's most likely gone. In the ELF, if you get hurt, you get released. This is how it's going to go. So this opens the door for Talia Tagovailoa to step in and become the next future star of the Hamburg Sea Devils, at least for a year, so he can get a different job somewhere. But it's an opportunity for him, so we'll see what he can do at the pro level. All right, so that's the stories for today. Pretty quick football scientific show. I released an article yesterday about the NFC playoff teams on footballanalysis1.com. I'm going to look at the top 10 fullbacks in the NFL today, I believe, on footballanalysis1.com. And then CFL News Hub, I talked about the addition of John Curtis and the release of Kalen Griffin. So check out those articles. Help out those websites. Feel pretty good about that. Tomorrow we'll be back. We may be back with Prediction Palooza. We may not. It just depends on how things are feeling, See how much news there is today. If there's not that much news today, we might come back with Prediction Palooza for another loaded week of games. So we'll see what happens. But either way, enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Football Scientific with me, Aaron Sauter. If you enjoyed the video, like it, and subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 100 subscribers. If we get to 100 subscribers, I'll give everyone a free $100 bill. That's not true, but sounds good, right? So, that's good. Tyler, you have an ad? I wish I had a $100 bill right now. I really do. Well, I don't have $100. I was kidding. I was joking about that. Okay. But if the snorkeling company wants us to be the spokesperson for the snorkeling company, let me know. Tyler Kamara snorkel every day. I love snorkeling. Snorkeling is fun. Yay, I'm a cat. Tigers go swimming in that. I don't know.